So, just what exactly is the Talk to Q radio show about?
You can't have it both ways, right? You can't say this man's job is to provide and protect and pay the bills, yet still when it comes on to the quote unquote gender roles of women, then you don't want to do that part.
Your life has definitely got to change. Your priorities have to shift.
I want to help people like that. Now, I know I'm not the only one who, every family has their dysfunctions. And I think some people are just brave enough to say, hey, we had dysfunctions in our family.
I can't say he's alone in how he thinks. It's a lot of men that think, like that. So, right or wrong, people just going to do what they do.
Cheers again. I missed that. Cheers. There we go. All right. Do I need to stick my pinky out? Do I need to stick my pinky out to be?
You want to be fancy.
But no, no.
The Talk to Q radio show. No experts, just opinions.
Over the past 4 decades, let's say, the United States has transitioned into an adult-themed society. It's happened so gradually that we've, not really noticed. Network TV has more sex scenes now. Fashion outlets sells T-shirts for young women with terms like juicy or porn star written on them. And pole dancing is now a workout class in a lot of fitness studios. 30 years ago, guys would creep to the strip clubs late at night to try to have some discreet fun. Nowadays, couples go together, because strip clubs are considered hangout spots. So is it safe to say that we've 100% embraced stripper culture? That's what we'll get into on this T2Q. Buckle up. Let's do this.
T2Q Radio.
Hey, what up, Q? What up, Radio World?
What's going on, people? I want to welcome all of you to another episode of Talk to Q Radio Show. My name is Quincy, and this is my show. And I'm coming to you live from the living room. Got the holiday tree up here, Christmas tree. Today is Tuesday, December the 14th, and this is episode 972. Now, for those of you who are new to the show, welcome. The Talk to Q Radio Show is a show for adults to get together and rant about whatever the trending topic may be. Anything that fits into the society and culture category, we discuss it. If you have something to get off your chest, then you can do so from the interactive chat room, and your comment may be read on the air. Shout out to Ryan out there. Unlike most shows where you simply just listen to the host, I allow you the opportunity to do the talking. I'll ask the questions, and you have the opportunity to express your opinion or rant on a subject. I want to hear what you have to say, which is why I named the show Talk to Q and not Listen to Q. Make sense? Please subscribe and like and share the show, because doing that will help expose me to more people on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and more places. So please take a second to do one, if not all three of those things. Thank you very much. All right. So, has society embraced stripper culture? That's the topic for the night. Let me go to the T2Q virtual phone lines to see who wants in on this discussion. If you're in the chat room and you decide you want to join the discussion with us on the air, then post a message and let me know that you wish to speak. And if I get the opportunity, I'll bring you on. Cameras and real names are optional. All right, to the T2Q virtual phone lines I go. I'm going to start here, the Lone Star State of Texas, and welcome back this young lady, Tiffany, the stylish millennial. What's going on?
What's going on with you, Q? How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Shout out to Bridget up there in Michigan, the bad man in Arkansas, And Ryan in Mississippi says, I support the naked hustle. Okay. And let's see. I got another fella to bring on. And he's not a stranger to the show. Welcome him back from the 601 area code in the Magnolia State of Mississippi. And bring on the homie Bailey. Bailey, what's going on? Bailey, you're on mute, bro.
Yeah.
What up, though?
There we go.
All right. Glad to have you on. All right. And I got a couple of show legends in the mix. So let me get them on. And you know, our show legends have the fancy introductions because they're show legends. She's your queen. Residing in the Lone Star State of Texas, please welcome show legend Queen Cole to the Talk to Q radio show. Queen, what's going on?
Hey, mama, I made it. I'm a show legend. Ooh.
Oh, you doing too much. You doing all right?
Good evening.
Glad to have you here. And one more person for the moment, and then we'll go ahead and kick things off. From the 850 area code, the Emerald Coastline of Pensacola, Florida, making his way to the ring, the man in black, the Buckster. What's going on, Buck?
How's everybody doing?
Doing well, Buck. Glad to have you on. And we'll go ahead and kick things off. Okay. I have a question for the women, and then I'll get to the fellas. So, Tiffany, I'll start with you. Do you think that society has embraced stripper culture? I mean, do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. And this is from someone who has taken pole dancing classes off and on for, I'd say, probably the last 3 or 4 years. It is, it's once upon a time, if you wanted 6-inch platforms, you had to go to a specialty store. Now you can pretty much get them at Macy's. What was once deemed kind of like a back alley thing is now mainstream. That's not, I don't really think that's arbitrary. That's fact. Like, you can look around and see that.
Okay. Queen Cole, do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. I just think it's the evolution of it all. Sex sells. When hasn't it not sold? So, yeah, like you were saying in the intro, even couples now go for a good time. I mean, because have y'all had these wings at the strip club? I just want to know because they be good. That's a good wing. So
I have never eaten at a strip club in my life.
I have not.
Magic City wings, fire.
You better tell me something about a Monday on a Magic Monday in Atlanta.
Hey, what's happening? Magic City wing, Blue Flame too. Shout out to Blue Flame.
Man. But yeah, I definitely agree. Just because it's just the evolution of everything. Now, you know, porn is not just where guys, you know, use the magazine and you hide the Playboy from your mom. So people have it on their phone. It's easy access to it. So I just think it's the evolution of everything, just come in full circle and continue to evolve.
Okay. And Badman in Arkansas said, I ate at Magic City. I hope he's talking about the food. And let's see. He also said strippers are now called emotional healers. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Belle Janice in Alabama said the wings are so good. And so let me ask the fellas, and Buck, I'll start with you. Do you think that society has embraced and become more accepting of stripper culture? Well, not just a stripper culture, of strippers too.
All of it. I mean, all the above. I mean, we've seen this evolve over time. And I mean, everything from you see what's on TV, sex sales. I mean, and they, back in the day, they used to have it on 10 o'clock or whatnot on HBO, Cinemax. We used to call it Skinemax. That have their little B movies on. But now, I mean, shoot, you can catch this on TNT or even the regular local channels now. So everything has kind of come full circle. So we've definitely, I believe we've definitely come to that point where that's where we are.
All right, Bailey, what do you think, man? Have they accepted the stripper in society?
For sure, man. I think America accepted the trap, and the strip club became an expansion of the trap. So as that form of life got highlighted and romanticized, you know, saying the strip club was really an extension of that. You know, if we're gonna be honest, like strippers are the new A&Rs, you know, for music. You know, you want to see if you got it was a time you could go to Magic City on Monday, you know, rest in peace, Lando. You could take a record and, you know, if the strippers, if they want to dance to it, you know, if they get the right reaction, you know, you got a hit. So I just think, man, the strip club is really an extension of, you know what I'm saying, trapping or a certain underworld that's now being romanticized on TV as well. And it's just an extension of it. And I think that opened up the door for the strip club to be accepted. So yeah, it's absolutely accepted, man.
All right, and you make a great point about how it's impacted music as well. And traditional strippers have traditionally been disrespected and ridiculed in society. I remember Chris Rock once joked that if your daughter ever swings on a pole for money, then you failed as a father. Yet pole dancing has found its way into fitness studios across the country. We all know that sex sells. Tiffany, was it inevitable that fashion? Is it inevitable that fashion will continue to trend more and more towards sexier attire with each passing generation?
No, I don't think so, because trends come and go in waves. A lot of the stuff that was big in the 90s and early 2000s that I wore, like the wide leg Jinko jeans, those are back now. But they're revisited. As we said, is stripper culture here? Yes, it's kind of come and gone in waves, not as hard as we've seen it probably the last 15 years, but the Playboy Playmates and the pinup girls, that was that version, that was that era of the stripper culture. So there's always been an element of that to society. Me personally, I'm not in favor of it. I don't like it. For multiple reasons. From a stylist perspective, I don't like it because I'm all about balance in your clothes and in your style. Having a sense of decorum matters to me. Everything that you find at Fashion Nova and Shein and Boohoo.com, those are cutouts, skin tight, hitched up. Not everybody wants that. And I'm turned off first of all, for kids that are like my cousin's kids that are 12 and 14 and think, well, this is what you do. This is what you wear because you don't have any other options or you don't see the people you follow wearing anything else. I think that puts them in kind of an odd headspace between blurring the lines of what is real and what's glamorized for Instagram and TikTok. But as far as how the trends are going, was this inevitable? It's cyclical. It's gonna be skin tight, then it's gonna be loose, and then it's gonna be flowy, and it's gonna trend back more towards bodycon, and then it's gonna be loose again. So I don't think we've seen as many cutouts on like a full body cat suit now. Like you wouldn't have seen that in the 70s when they first came out, but you had them. This is just another modification.
All right, good points made there. And Bridget in Michigan said they only have meth dancers in Southwest Michigan, so she didn't call them exotic dancers and meth dancers. Let me see. I got somebody else who wants to join the mix, so let me go back to the virtual phone line. From the 870 area code, the natural state of Arkansas, please welcome on the master of Leonism, the bad man. Bad man, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, what's going on? How is everybody?
Doing well, man.
Hello.
And
I got 2 more days. I'm walking across that stage.
Congratulations, man. You're on the graduation.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a hard road, but still got a lot more work to do in January.
Okay. All right, I'll get to you in just a moment. Let me go back to Queen Cole for a second. And Queen Cole, let's touch on something that Tiffany talked about. You know, fashion outlets target young women, especially teenage girls, although you never get any company to admit that. Are exotic dancers setting the trend for fashion when it comes to how young women dress for nightlife?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Because these sometimes these strippers also not disguise, use the word influencer as well. So they may be pushing products as well. So makeup
Mm-hmm.
and this and that and others, or bottle girls instead of, strippers, where bottle girls hardly have anything on when they come for bottle service, right? So I think there is a slight influence there, just because children are more on social media. But I think it still has to be the parents' responsibility, because we're going out to buy these clothes. Like, I've never, and I guess maybe this is shameful, I've never ordered from Fashion Nova. Like, I see the pictures, I see the ads, and I'm like, oh, okay, but it's not necessarily for me. Do I want to look sexy? Yes, but do I want half my butt out? No. So I think that there is a limited influence. But it depends on the parents. So now if the mom is dressing that way and it's like, hey, my daughter is 7 years old and she has to have a weave ponytail to her butt, then that's where we need to talk to the parents. But I think when they're young and impressionable, we as parents have to take responsibility. We can't just leave it up to media or social media to guide those things. And if I'm a parent, I'm not going to be shopping on Fashion Nova for my tween or teen who is body just developing and just getting impressionable. So yes and no. There's a factor to it, but even if kids beg, like, no.
Okay.
So that's just me. I'm an old school kind of parent. So
All right. So, fellas, let me get you all in on this. And so Buck or Bailey or Batman, whoever wants to respond, are exotic dancers setting the trend for fashion when it comes to nightlife?
No.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think they are. Simply because you look at what's going on. You see, in the event that you go out to a club in today's time, you see the younger women wearing some of this really racy stuff. It's not, and it really depends on where you are. Down here in Florida, you'll see a little bit of this. It's not every single woman, but you do see some women wearing some pretty short stuff. You're going like, and it definitely gets the attention, but I don't think it gets the attention, the right type of attention. Real guys that want a lady don't want somebody coming out wearing stuff like that. That's something that you really kind of want to revert back to the bedroom for and not come out in public for. But you start to see it.
My mom calls that nightwear parading as daywear.
Yeah. So it's kind of unusual to see, because that's not what traditional guys look for. At least not me. Some people might like that, but they're getting the wrong kind of attention. That's what I'm seeing.
All right, Bailey, Batman.
Well, hell, yeah.
Disagree, man.
They still. I can just say, I can tell. I'm speaking because I'm 50, so I ain't saying my age. So I'm just saying, like in the 90s, chicks, or even the late 80s, chicks would be wearing like tight jeans and all this stuff. But now they with all these, they don't leave no imagination. No imagination. Sometimes you see the crack of dawn. Sometimes you see way before the crack of dawn. You do. And cue for the record, I ate food at Magic City. But I did want to go, no sex in the champagne room. No sex in the champagne room.
Well, I appreciate you clearing that up. But Bailey, you said you disagree, man. What do you disagree with?
For sure. Man, like the streets dictate fashion, man. And outside of that, social media and celebrities dictate it too. Man, a lot of these strippers, man, they dress like WWE wrestlers, man. This shit don't be hard. You know what I'm saying? Like women, you know what I'm saying? I think social media is a way bigger influence than strip clubs, you know what I'm saying? Because like fashion has changed, you know what I'm saying? We went from, you could wear a $80 polo shirt and a pair of Jabos. Now everybody is designer, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's at Saks or Lennox or, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Atlanta, so you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing it, but like does you know what I'm saying? Everybody on designer now. And and a lot of women on boutiques. But it's not the strippers that's setting that tone. Now some of these influencers and some of these, you know what I'm saying, social media chicks, they may also strip, but ain't nobody going to Onyx or Blue Flame and saying, yeah, I'm gonna go get something just like that to wear nowhere. That's what I'm saying, that's at the crib for y'all, man. So just as a whole, when I look at fashion as a whole, nah, that's not being dictated by no strip club. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah.
All right, make some good points there. And in the chat room, Bill Janice said that parents these days are just as influenced by social media, and that's true. Shanika chimed in from the Show Me State of Missouri. She says everyone might not want to see it, but it's a person's preference. We can never control what society gravitates towards. However, it's up to each individual to find their own style. All right. And so, Tiffany, do you have something to say?
Yeah, I always have something to say, but and I think with Shanice, that her comment, I was reading it, and how society doesn't dictate what we wear. It kind of does. I mean, it shouldn't, but something that I find with my clients is, like me, I'm not a straight size. I'm a size 16. There are certain brands that don't go above a size 12. And unfortunately, a lot of companies like Fashion Nova, Boohoo, Shein, they go up to a 5X in US size. So if you're trying to find something to wear and you want something that's got a nice cut, it works with your body, but it doesn't fit, and you see so many influencers that have secured their bag to push product and you see it in your face. I mean, they're called influencers for a reason, because that's where we go for a lot of our information now for society. We go to Twitter, we go to TikTok. I see so many TikTok and YouTube hauls of, I spent $500 at Shein, look at all I bought. And those are the clothes you're seeing. So it's very insidious how it's in the back of our mind. Okay, well, this is what we wear now. This is where we shop. This is what we wear now. This is kind of how we dress. And while you may not, I personally, at this point in my journey, can say, no, that's not accurate. I know that's what you're trying to tell me. That's what we're all doing. I see beyond the veil. That's what y'all doing. That's not what I'm doing. If you're 17, you're 19, you're not thinking that. You're not thinking about your individual style and what you're trying to express to the world. You're seeing people with 8 million followers on TikTok that you also follow that look like they're a founding sorority member of Hoochie Fi Hoochie. And so you're like, well, again, that's what we wear. That's what we do. That's how we dress now.
Hoochie Fi Hoochie. Don't give anyone any ideas. You better patent that. And
No doubt.
Well, this question is for the ladies. Now, a generation ago, maybe not now, I don't know, you tell me, but a generation ago, strippers were, a disrespected profession. Okay. So if you saw a woman who was quote unquote dressed like a stripper, a lot of times, more times than not, she may be disrespected. So, ladies, do you think that men categorize women based on how they may dress?
Yes, and it shouldn't be so.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and we also categorize guys too. So if you're a guy and you're wearing age inappropriate clothing, and you wearing skinny jeans, knowing you from the Jabot days and all that, then I'm looking at you like, Papa, come on over here and sit down, take these shoes off because they don't go with these skinny jeans that you're trying to squeeze into. So it goes both ways, but I think with guys, like, they want to see that, you know, the influence, they follow them on social media, they like their comments, but then here I come, you know, in a ball gown, I'm trying to be all elegant and all that. I may get 2 likes because I'm not showing everything, you know? So it's like, okay, y'all want to see that, but you know, you don't want to bring that kind of stuff home to your mom and them. So you don't want her wearing that to the barbecue. You're going to be like, oh, well, don't wear that one outfit. Okay. So guys do look at that. And I think it's because guys are visual. So they're like, okay, this looks good. But again, y'all not inviting them to the barbecue where uncle and all them going to be looking and talking about this girl dressed like that. So.
All right. So fellas, I mean, do you co-sign? Do you categorize women based on how they're dressed? Any guy?
You mean if they skimpy or not?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
no, when I look at dress,
if
man,
they
I
have
don't really...
an exotic dance look to them, do you categorize them as such?
Man, not if that shit tacky, man. I just care about is it fly, what it look like. You know what I'm saying? Or can you be versatile? Can you might wear that to the club on Saturday, but can you put on a blazer and a pencil skirt to go to work Monday? Or, you know, what kind of shoes you rock when you go to the gym?
What if she wears that to work? I mean, you know, a lot of
what,
times
man?
some people wear the same thing on Saturday night they do Sunday morning in church.
Man, what she wear?
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It just depends on how you rock.
Man, y'all
if
know,
it look good.
y'all know Sister Hazel Jean coming there wearing some stuff, boy. Y'all know.
Yep, that's true. I mean, it does. I mean, I want a classy woman. So if she comes in looking classy, of course, you know, that's going to influence whether I talk to her or not. If she comes in there looking trashy, or, you know, looking like she, you know, $5, nope. You know, that's going to influence me not to say something to you. So, I mean, it's going to influence us because guys are visual, and, you know, it's just part of it. And you know, we got to be looking tight too. I mean, so it does go both ways. We can't be looking.
Hey, Buck,
shabby.
what if she coming there looking like $40?
Yeah, they didn't went up on the price, Buck. It ain't no more $5. They $40 now.
Inflation. Inflation is real.
Look, inflation. If they look like trash, then they probably trash. So whether it's $40, $5, yeah, exactly. If they looking trashy, then you know, steer clear. But if they looking, if they looking really nice and look like they well kept, then that's what you want to, you know, possibly holler at. So,
but I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes when that bottle, after about 4, 8, or 9 shots, they start to look like Beyonce.
No,
yeah, but that's
not on this end. Not on this end, player.
That's
not on this end. I don't care how much of this bottle I done had. It ain't gonna ever get to that point.
You got a new hero now, Lamar from BMF, where he went in that bathroom.
Oh Lord!
Oh my goodness!
He's making a BMF reference.
No.
Oh my goodness!
Well, let me go. There's a question in the chat room. Shanika in Missouri asks, "Would any of you say that revealing is always trashy, and can't be sexy?" So, in other words, if someone wearing revealing clothing, can that ever be classy?
Yes,
absolutely.
Classy to a point. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, because there's nothing
absolutely.
wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with a little cleavage. Like, I don't have big boobs, but I will have a nice push-up bra. And you might tonight, and this ain't what it is, but.
Man,
You may see me with a little something with a necklace coming down, a little baby oil on my shoulders. I ain't coming from the strip club. I'm just coming from, you know, dinner or something like that. I might have the shoulders out, glistening.
Hey, that's cool.
You know,
that's cool.
Glistening.
Hey, can I chime in?
Make it sexy. You don't have to be trashy. When I say trashy, I'm saying it just looks like you're trying so hard. Like, okay, look at me. When I walk into the room, I'm gonna command the attention. I'm not gonna have to be like, look at me. I got on a push-up bra. No, I'm not gonna be like that. I'm just like, I have arrived. And that's what I mean when I say trashy, like you just looking like, you know, I'm just trying so hard. I'm trying to put it all together. And then I think too, with society, we buy these clothes, Fashion Nova, the other places that you mentioned, they're really inexpensive clothes. Like they're one or two wears. They're not quality clothes. And I don't think we really think about that. Like I'm wearing this cutout. Like you could have did that at home, like holes in the jeans. I make my own holes. I'm not about to buy $60, $90, $100 jeans to cut out holes in it. So
Please let me get that.
Wait a minute, $900 jeans.
Man, listen, ladies on the show, ladies listening, ladies in the chat. If y'all look good, throw that shit on, man. Ain't nobody coming to the strip club to find no soulmate. Man, put it on, man. Shit.
No, they're not.
Man, we want to see it. I don't care. $40 Sheen or Fashion Nova, man. Throw that shit on. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Rock look good.
My question is this, because and from what we're seeing, and mind you, this is all through the prism of social media, which I think we can all agree. I mean, we don't realize that when we're like 17 and 19, we think everything we see is real. We're all adults.
Oh, no, 19-year-old strippers.
I'm saying we know through the prism, social media is not real. It's curated. It's an illusion. But we see so much stripper wear that's like out at Aldi at the grocery store now. With that, and as far as revealing, not being trashy, it can absolutely be done. It's all about balance. If you got your bosom out, shoulders exposed, you're probably going to go either with like covering bottoms or something a little longer on the bottom. So you can absolutely be revealing when it's balanced. Having all your bits out at one time is not.
I don't see a lot of stripper wear. Sorry not to cut you off. Respectfully, I don't mean to cut you out. I don't see a lot of stripper wear. I see a lot of stripper ass. And that's what's dictating the culture. I don't care where you work at. You know what I'm saying? What line of work you in, what you do. That's what's dictating the culture. Motherfuckers is dressing fine and showing it off because everybody fine. Shit, everybody getting surgeries. Everybody piped up. Everybody got waist trainers. Everybody looking good. That's why you see the dressing the way it is dressing. Ain't nobody trying to dress like no stripper. Everybody trying to show off that new ass they didn't got, man. So that's what's dictating the culture, man. And that's not a stripper thing. That's just women don't do that for men. Women do that for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I want to be snatched. I want to look like this. So once they do, they're gonna throw that shit on. But that ain't coming from no stripper. That's coming because, hey, I want to be bad. Did social media magnify that? It did. But in my lifetime, I seen the strip club when it was looked at as a trick and there's nothing niggas want to participate in. Then I seen from the BMF area firsthand when that amount of money started flowing in strip clubs and it became a status symbol. It wasn't even about the women. It's a status symbol. Can I throw more money than this next man throwing? So when that culture got popularized, stripper culture got popularized as well. But women not doing that to be like no strippers. They doing it because they want to be a bad bitch too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not strippers dictate culture or fashion. It's that ass.
It's the shape.
It's the shape. It's the shape
that everybody's after, and then they're dressing in any way possible to show it off.
But it ain't just strippers that got that shape. Shit, I'm from the South. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, being Mississippi and Atlanta, it's just fine motherfuckers down here. You know what I'm saying? They don't all strip. You know what I'm saying? She might have played volleyball. You know what I'm saying? But she bad.
I saw some.
So Bailey, tell me this. So are you into the BBL shape? You think that shape is like the highest? You saying bad bitches?
Okay,
so
what's BBL?
If they bad,
the Brazilian butt lift.
BBL.
Oh, I don't know. You say, am I into a certain shape? No, I'm not into a certain shape. You know, I don't even have a type. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a type. I like light, kind of dark, short, sort of tall, slim, sort of thick. I don't have a type. You know what I'm saying? I'm more so like, what's your mind?
About the BBL, like that shape. That's a particular shape. So that's why I was asking.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, big booty.
Nah, we got. Hey, I catch you
Brazilian butt lift is what
Yeah.
BBL stands for, Brazilian butt
But
lift.
yeah, so like women doing it for themselves, not because of no stripper, no dictating it. Because you just social media made it to a point where you can see everybody, and comparison is the thief of joy. So I'm jealous of a motherfucker I ain't never met because she fine. I don't know what she do for a living. She might not even be a stripper. She just fine, and I can see her. So I didn't like her page enough, and I didn't stalk her page enough to now I want to be shaped like her. But she may be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I
not.
don't know.
Oh,
I kind of
all
I
the
kind
damn
of
teachers I
disagree.
had look like Aunt Esther.
Man, come on. It didn't change, my boy.
I
It didn't
kind of
change.
disagree a little bit because, like, when you look at the Instagram models, a lot of their influence came from video vixens. Well, video vixens, a lot of them came from the strip clubs. So
Yes,
essentially,
they
it's
did.
still the strip clubs that's influencing everything when you look at the dominoes, how they fall.
100%. It was the video
Yeah.
vixens, the hip hop videos, the dominance of rap and hip hop from the late 80s up until like what 2016.
What
When
video
then,
vixen
like,
then?
Well,
what?
What's they not? Who?
But
I
that
don't
was
remember any
Melissa
video
the
vixens
shape.
Ford.
by
That's what
name.
you
What's
saw
the other
in the
chick
music
name?
videos. Then you had certain people that popularized that shape,
I'm saying
that
who?
physique.
I'm
What do you mean?
saying like who? What video vixens influence people? What's their name?
I don't know their name, but I know them women on
Because they ain't influence
the
nobody,
old Two
man.
Live Crew video move.
But we didn't have
I don't know
we
the
didn't
names
have
of a lot of people
influencers in the
now.
90s.
Yeah, there wasn't no
Yeah.
Instagram or nothing, so you saw them in
Okay.
videos.
I don't know their
You know
names,
who
but
they
you
are.
see, like when you kept seeing the same sort of girl in the pictures, in the videos.
The
Well,
first
and
name
that's
I think I remember. I think I learned was that what was her name? Kai Toy from that Outcast video. I like the way
Couture.
you move.
Yeah,
That's
Contour.
probably the
Okay.
first name I ever learned, and that
All
was
right.
because of the internet. But before
Okay.
the
In Houston,
internet,
you
I
had
didn't know
Makai
anybody's
Michael.
name.
Houston, you had Makai Michael. You got Atlanta with Yummy. Sugar. In Florida, you had what's my name? Gloria Valdez that Pimp C was with. I ain't never heard nobody say they want to dress like them. Now I didn't hear people say they want to be shaped like them. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody walking around with just no cowboy boots and dressing like these strippers. I mean, you hear it now, but it's the shapes, man. So if they want to influence them, I say they influencing maybe the shapes, but not necessarily the dress. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
But is
sure where
that
y'all
not
go.
still part of stripper culture? That shape that was
Yeah.
popularized by the video vixens that you
Think
know
it-
were
I think
originally
it-
sourced to the strip clubs?
I think it's just black culture, man. I think us as a culture dictates. I think the original question was fashion, and so I just think us as a culture dictates fashion. The
I don't
streets
know. I mean,
dictate fashion.
I still think there's a domino effect though, because if you got a banging body, you got to wear banging stuff to make that body look good. And
Right. Now I did say that. Yeah, I did say that for sure.
let me go back to the phone lines. This guy says that he has a video vixen name that
What
we
up,
forgot.
Radio
From
World?
the 601 area code in the Magnolia State of Mississippi, please welcome on the original show legend, the Minister of Sexual Affairs, Eminem. What's shaking, man?
Hey, what up, Q? What up, Radio World?
All right, Eminem, what name you got for us?
Melissa Ford, man. Drives a
Oh,
Honda car. Yeah.
Melissa Ford.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she's still
And,
bad.
No doubt.
and what was the Tiffany Baxter? Was it Tiffany Baxter? Somebody.
Karen
Buffett
Stephens.
about it.
Esther
Karen
Baxter.
Stephens. Then you had chicks that was former strippers. Y'all remember Flavor Love, Delicious, and all them jokers?
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody
I mean,
want to be. They want to be
Cardi
shaped like her, but they don't want to
also
dress like
stripped
her.
as well, so
Yeah.
she's
Cardi.
one
Okay,
of the
that's a
newer
good one.
ones.
Okay, y'all are coming up with some
That's a
names.
good one.
All right.
Yeah.
But
That's a good one.
but somebody might have already mentioned it, but one thing to just kind of give you some genealogy on the strip game. See, one thing about it, the 60s and 70s were dominated by the pimps, right? Then the 80s, when crack came along, the dope boys and gangs and stuff started making it hard just to be a pure pimp. So what the pimps did was took that knowledge, the ones that had a little clout, and low level like mafia guys, depending on what region of the country, and they started really investing more into what we call strip clubs, because that was just a way to pretty much do what you do and not go to jail for it. You see what I'm saying? So with that said, you had markets like your average Chocolate City. They start catering to clients that kind of like women shaped a certain way and stuff like that. A la King Magazine, XXL, all that stuff. That's how that shit
Right.
came about. It's all about trying to survive, trying to make some money. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the regular chicks, at first, they tried to make it seem like it was a disgrace and all this shit like that. However, you had shows like, more pop culture shows. They old school now, but it was pop culture then. Like, The Best Man, that movie, different ones. But Ice Cube brought it to the top with Players Club. It gave a whole nother spin on it. So it gave every chick that was stripping an excuse to say, I'm trying to work my way through college and all this shit. So I mean, it was it's a path to where we are now. So then when you got like the rappers and when it became like a big rendezvous point, especially like big metropolitan areas like Atlanta and
Houston
and places like where it's mainly in the South, Miami, they had a lot of influence of black culture, I should say. Then you had guys that could put that kind of money and say, well, look, man, that girl I grew up in the project with, man, that bitch would she would sell this damn club out if y'all got this bitch in here. Because they used to just want dancers, So that's when, they start discovering different people. Now, if anybody familiar with New Orleans, where, what they call twerk now was peacock, girls taking it to the floor and shit, that drove niggas crazy.
Yeah.
So they start bringing that element to the club. So like I said, it's a path to this shit, you know what I'm saying? But but all of it was pretty much survival of the pimp game. That's really what it was, As far as the everyday Joe, a lot of people just it's like, yeah, you down the strip club, but then you try to dress like strippers to try to get their attention. You want to get the same attention. You're like, well, yeah, that's what it's about. But you ain't got to dress a certain way. You just, shut the fuck up. You're going to get attention. You talk a lot of shit, you're not going to get attention.
All right, but yeah, I mean, a lot of things.
That's one thing I do want to point out too. A lot of strippers, when they're in that working mode, they're doing that. But when they're not working, a lot of them don't dress like that. Like you'll see them leave, they're leaving in sweats and tennis shoes. They're not always in stilettos all the time. So if they're working, if they're doing a party or something like that, they're gonna be dressed for work. So It's not you. I mean, maybe if you might see them in public early morning, but probably not. You probably walk past strippers all the time and you just don't know. They got on sweats and just.
But that's just it. They don't dress because that's their work uniform. But the average woman that sees this, I don't even want to say, I'll go ahead and say woman. She sees this represented so much on social media and not even maybe not dressed like the woman on the main stage, but the glamorized version that has been pushed by so many social media influencers that we see hip hop adjacent or in that world that dress that way. You'll see the regular woman, that maybe works in HR Monday through Friday, but when she's not at work, and sometimes at work, let's be honest, they're in stuff that's cut too tight, that's cut too low, that's huggy, because so much of what we see is like, oh, it's kind of like stripper light wear. It's maybe not got all your business in the street, but still doesn't leave a lot to the imagination.
Like you can still get drunk off a Bud Light.
Yeah.
Okay.
You still see that out so much that because it seems like that's normal because we have normalized it as part of the culture.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a good and a bad thing. I think it's a double-edged sword personally. But
yeah, when y'all see me at Carnival, there would be nothing to the imagination. I'm going to have all my flowers. I'm going to have all my bling.
But Carnival is different. Like, you're supposed to wear nothing but feathers and a pair of high tops at Carnival.
Exactly.
Let me get to some of these comments. D chimed in from the 213 in Cali and said, at least back in the days, they were real.
See, they're my people right there. 213. That's my people right there.
All right. And Shanika said you can see that thing in the sweats too. And that's true. Some people can't hide it. Some people can't hide it regardless of what they have.
Got that right.
That's true.
So
another reason sweats in public are not okay. Just my opinion.
Ooh, what about yoga pants?
Oh, they all right.
I don't like yoga pants in public.
Oh, them yoga pants to get you in trouble.
Yoga pants. If you're not in the studio, don't wear yoga pants.
Man.
Yeah, most people who wear yoga pants don't do yoga. All right, so let me ask you this. What's a parent's responsibility to their sons? You know, with male hormones going crazy in their teenage years, how do you teach them to manage what they're seeing and processing it all? Because, you know, younger and younger, these guys are seeing all of this.
Well, I mean, I think it's great because
I agree.
Because for one, you know, I mean, just to be honest, in today's culture, you know, the few things, quote unquote, manly men have left is that kind of stuff. That and, you know, football and boxing. That's about it.
But I mean, do you offer them any guidance towards that and what they're seeing?
No, because
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
you have
the thing, the guidance you offer is just to do certain things the right way. You wanna make it rain with your first job you get at a construction site, not, you know, breaking in somebody's house. You know, you kind of you try to make a little moral lesson out of something that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? You try to talk about, you know, what saying it without saying it. Well, you know, this is why, you know, when you feel like quitting football, you should keep going to practice, because, you know, shit, you know, hell, this what you probably can get. This is the lifestyle you can have without going to jail. And a lot of people don't understand that. I mean, it's like how can I say this? It's
So
kind of
in other
like the
words, wait a
parables.
minute. So in other words, you're saying that the lesson here for young men is to stay in school and you can get bad women.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
you know, it's
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Because
Absolutely.
if you don't, they're gonna be disillusioned and think that you have to be a dope boy or something like that to enjoy to act certain ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, now this sounds crazy, but a lot of young men seriously don't know that if you just work overtime, save your money up, don't have babies everywhere, you literally can go walk around with a knot of money in your pocket. You don't have to worry about going to jail. But nobody's ever told them that. They really think that you only have to do this. And I'm talking about kids that usually don't have stable situations. They pretty much raised by rap videos. They actually buy into this shit. I see it every day. You know. But if you know.
Okay, that's a good point.
Well, let me speak up to for the moms. I just recently had a college graduate. My son graduated. He went to an HBCU, and when he got there, thank you. When he got there, he said, "Mom, there are so many beautiful queens here, so many different shades, so many different sizes, so many just." It was just like M&Ms everywhere, right? And so the approach, what I have said to my son is always have respect. It doesn't matter what she's wearing. It doesn't matter what she's doing, but always have respect. Have respect for her and then also for yourself. Don't be putting yourself out there, you know, with the catcallings and all that, because like you were saying, Eminem, it was a good point. My son also was on the football team. He's been playing football since he was 7 years old. So he's used to all that, the girls on the side and cheering all that. And then, you know, we got to pour into our guys too and let them know, like, you're a king. Everybody shouldn't have a chance to be with you and be up in your face and all that, whether you have money, you don't have money. But the main thing is just respect. Respect yourself, but then also respect women. You know, you wouldn't want anybody talking to me or your sister like that. Like, I wouldn't dare want to catch you doing anything inappropriate or saying anything inappropriate to a young lady who, you know, is wearing yoga pants and not doing yoga.
Right.
And I think that is such a big thing that so many, and I'm just so you're aware, I'm child free. I don't have any kids, but for when I mentored high school students for like 4 summers, it was without regard to how they're dressed, how much money is or is not in their pocket, what kind of car they may not have a car, their family may not have a car. They are still worthy of respect because they are here on this planet. They have a purpose. It's not up to you to decide what their purpose is and whether or not that purpose has value. They're here, and in that being, they have worth. If you can't pour into that and build that up, keep it moving. You don't get to disrespect them to make another woman feel better or some other guy feel worse because he's with her or for your own, mean reasons. If you can't talk to them like a civilized human being, it's your fault. You go home because no one deserves to be talked to crazy.
I agree. All right, and D chimed in from Cali and said guidance is necessary for both sides. Everything you look at, you don't have to touch. True. And that's very true. And, to me, it's like stripper culture is almost the equivalent of what we've seen with the transition in the urban cultures. Like, at one time, big booties, full lips, hair weaves were considered unattractive to mainstream society until mainstream society started doing it. So it's almost kind of like following the same line. But let me get one more question. We get ready to shut things down. I know we're running over, and I appreciate
one more
you all.
thing. I mean, and it's our culture that is being stolen by the colonizers. So the white people wanted full lips. Like, they were our lips before they were Angelina Jolie's lips, before they were Kim K's lips. Those were our hips. We already had it. So we're really, the Black community, the Black culture is the standard. Like we
absolutely
do all that. Like we,
my God, Becky, look at her butt.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've
I'm
been the standard.
I'm
We've been
go
the
old
standard
school.
of beauty and all that. But now that, other people have infiltrated it and, selling it at face value. Like
Bo Derek. I'm gonna go old school. When Bo Derek had cornrows, y'all remember that?
Those braids.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and Bill in Alabama said, my issue is we tell people to be themselves and we bash people. So there's pressure overload. And
right.
Yeah, it's kind of rough because it's like women are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. If you're a virgin, then you may get respect, but you won't have any sexual freedom. But if you're a thought, you get sexual freedom, but you don't get any respect. That's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Tough spot to be in. But like Tiffany said, it takes balance. So, All right, last one. Stripper culture, some people say it has also impacted men. All right, so I'm gonna tell you something that I read somewhere. There's heavy stripper culture influence in music videos with Instagram models, and you can also argue that men are wearing less clothing and also more revealing clothing because of the influence. So has stripper culture impacted how men dress with skinny jeans, revealing their underwear from the sagging pants? Some guys are wearing dresses, nail polish, and more.
No, that's not part of stripper culture.
No, that's a whole nother show with demasculating men, but we're not going to get into that right here, right now. So I'm just going to leave that for another TED Talk, but that has nothing to do with stripper culture.
Yeah, that's European designers.
No, it does not.
The gender fluidity is, I think that's a lot of generational
I can
stuff,
see
but
that.
that's not stripper culture.
Yeah, that just goes to the point I was making earlier about like design, like the designer culture and the change in dress. But yeah, that's European fashion that we didn't fall in love with. And I call it before Meech and after Meech. You know what I'm saying? Before Meech made it to Atlanta cared about, Chevys and regular Southern things. After Meech, people fell in love with foreign cars, and the strip club got just romanticized in a different way because they threw so much money there, and they didn't just do it in Atlanta. They did it in every major city across America. So I look at it as a timeline, like before Christ, after Christ was before Meech and after Meech. But you know what I'm saying? When you switch to foreign cars, people start switching to designer clothes, and designer clothes, that's not knock the stripper culture. That's just changing of a style, like a slimmer cut. You know what I'm saying? I'm 37 and I don't wear skinny jeans, but I mean, you have to adjust. I may wear a slimmer fit because you look dumb if you don't. I mean, you just do. Once fits change, you know, the style of shoes change. You just can't, you know, you just keeping up. So I'm not out here with skinny jeans or showing my drawers, but I'm gonna wear a slimmer fit jean or a taper fit jean. You know, you just look nice. So yeah, I think that's just a change of fashion, which change. Fashion comes in circles. 5 years from now, no telling what it'll be on.
Okay, great point there. And well, it's just right now. As far as where it stands, nightlife is on a different level. I mean, I remember in the 90s, yeah, you saw tight clothes, you saw body dresses and things of that nature. But I mean, I never saw anything like this at a nightclub.
Okay.
Club it is.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I see adverts like this because I'm always like perusing different styles and see, like somebody mentioned, a lot of women own boutiques now. So I'm like, what's a local place that's size inclusive that I can promote to any clients? Mm-hmm. And I come across stuff that looks like that so much. I'm like, first of all, that looked like a tree that was teepeed. Like when you would go out with your friends, get a 12-pack of 3-ply and throw it over somebody's yard. That dress looks like the end result of that teepee session. But I see this so often. I'm like, first of all, where are you wearing that?
The club.
No.
Yeah, and then to put a jean jacket over it, I'm just like, what is going on right now?
Because now we're concerned about being cold.
What is this? What is this?
So I'm like, where are you wearing this? What club would even let you in wearing this?
Oh, they let them in. They probably let them skip to the front of the
line. Oh, they let them in. Believe that.
They let them in.
Yeah.
Let them in, skip to the front of the
line. They let them in.
Because they cold and they're going to bring the guys are going to be in line seeing that like, ooh.
Yep. They let them in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The
first thing I think of is what club would let you in wearing that? Because
a lot of clubs. A lot of clubs don't let
a lot of them.
All of them.
They do. Janice in Alabama says it's usually people not even from the city they live in dress like that.
Now that is true because when I go on vacation, I'm a whole nother I dress a whole nother way.
So I was about to say, so maybe that's like part of her away uniform. You got your home uniform, you got your away uniform, and that's.
Hey, if you're on social media, it's neither home or away.
Yeah, and
come down to Florida during spring break. Oh, you see it all day and twice on Sunday. Yeah. Dresses like that. You believe that.
But they're on spring break. They're young. They're influenced by social media, and they're not at home. Like,
All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up. This has been a great discussion. I appreciate you all. And next week, I chat with intimacy and relationship coach Leah Holmgren. She's also an author. We'll discuss her book about casual sex and more. That will be on Tuesday, December 21st, here on the Talk to Q radio show. All right, so we'll get final thoughts and shut this thing down. And let's see, where do I want to go first? Eminem, I'll start with you first, man. Get your final thoughts.
Oh, man, great show. Very interesting topic. One that's really could go in a couple series, honestly. But what was the topic? I mean, I know the exact title.
Do we embrace stripper culture?
Oh, do we embrace it? To an extent, I think so. Because I think that it kind of went through, like I was kind of giving a history of it, kind of going through some phases where, first it was like, taboo or, something, that you try to warn against and all that. And then, but, something that I would like to say, the biggest thing with it, depending on what kind of perspective is, a lot of people call it a double standard. A lot of people call it hypocrisy, but nah, it's not. I don't know if y'all remember what Chris Rock said on Bigger and Blacker. I think, like, when you a father of a girl, your whole thing is keep off the fold. So, but most guys that say that, yeah, you love going to strip club, but at the same time, you don't want that to be your daughter. So I mean, so it's uh, if you answering that as far as like the culture, as far as like it being non-family related, yeah, you love it. But if it's you, then it's like, well, it's a little different. So but everybody has some interesting points and everything, and something else I was gonna say too, real good. Damn, I can't remember. Man, I'm talking about, it was like off the chain good. Damn,
We'll take your
I
word
can't
for
dig
it,
it
bro.
out. Yeah. But make sure y'all check out now this probably didn't come up on the question, but check out Q article, the best one he ever wrote. And he done wrote a lot of shit. But I'm in love with a stripper. He wrote that like about 7 years ago, I believe. That's I don't think he can top that, because he hit it on point. It's like he hit that like a psychologist or something. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. And I think that when you had that infused with pop culture, I think it kind of led the way to opening doors where when people looking at it like, okay, this is not so bad, it's not this and all that. And like I say, when Cube and them did Players Club, like I said, opened up another perspective. It showed you, just like jobs have different personalities. Well, that type of life got a different personality. You got chicks in there hooking, you got chicks in there just strictly doing it for a little bit, and you got chicks in there that hate it. They just kind of caught up. So, I mean, it's either that or sleep in the damn bus station. Cause like I say, the dope game fucked up the pimp game, the true pimp game. I ain't talking about hooking bitches on heroin and shit. That ain't real pimping. I'm talking about massaging that mind and stuff and getting them to, wish you was their dad and all that kind of stuff. The real game.
No.
But I ain't gonna preach it tonight. Ooh, boy, y'all get me feeling good. But I'm trying. I'm trying to beat
Wrap
that
it up
bell.
for me, yeah.
Yeah. So, like I say, man, if a person really got a problem with a strip club, if Bill 1313 pass, you really won't see too many of them, because it's gonna be so many bordellos and all them places packed out. You ain't, nobody will go to a strip club. Why tease yourself? So, your congressman, your alderman, what else? Different people got different names for their city government, mayor, all that. You start with the local government, then you work your way up. State legislator, each House of Representatives, Senate, all that stuff. Then you send to Congress. Say, pass 1313, pass it now, and fully legalize unadulterated sale of the human female body.
Nope.
You want to act on it now.
Nope.
1313 all day.
All right, Eminem. I appreciate it. I appreciate
Don't
the
let your
shout out
lights
on
go off.
the shout out on the blog too. And for those of you who have not seen my blog, you can find it there. Over I think it's the last I saw 1.3 million views. So go check it out. Thank you.me. I haven't written there or anything in a while, but yeah, it's still active. So I appreciate that, Eminem. Queen Cole, what you got? Your final thoughts?
Ooh, I had to follow Eminem. Lord have mercy. Whew. I was looking for the mute button, but all right. Awesome show. You always have the best panels and the best topics. This was a great topic. I just want to say that there's no disrespect to the women that are out there stripping. Do whatever you have to do at that particular time, because I've also done pole dance fitness, and it is very hard. It's hard as hell to do these tricks. So before the average woman goes to install your pole or that cube that you see at Onyx, just think about it, and then as you're buying clothes and you're shopping, do what's comfortable for you. Don't worry about that comparison. Oh, my butt need to be looking like this and that. If you can afford the BBL, go for it. But if not, get your health right, get your fitness together, so that way you can, wear the clothes that, that you want to, show off a little bit, and look at your body and appreciate what you have. Don't worry about what the strippers are doing. Don't worry about your neighbor or the lady down the street. Do you first, and then be happy with that. That's my advice. That's my advice. Don't worry about the stripper culture if you're not immediately a part of it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Buck, I'll go to you next, sir.
Great show as always. A lot of different viewpoints on all of this. But when it really comes down to it, you just have to make sure, again, and I say this quite often, there has to be a certain amount of balance that you have to have in whatever your decisions may be. Some of it may influence some of it may not. So, just be smart. And, I've seen so many things in my 50 years, and there's some things that have influenced me, and there's things that don't. But that's just about everybody here. So on the panel, and out there in the mainstream. But there's some people that's influenced by everything. Everything that they see, everything that they see on social media. So just use common sense, and that's the main thing. But again, great topic, great show, and everybody enjoy the rest of your week.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. And Bailey, you there, man?
Man, I could have listened to hello?
Go ahead.
Hey, okay. Here, so you had me muted, but I could have listened to Eminem all day. I agree, Eminem. They put down the P and picked up the G. But I think as a whole, we as black people dictate all culture, man. I think the strip, I've embraced stripping culture, and we have embraced street culture too. So I just think we as a whole, we just dope, diverse, just amazing people. Forget trends. We are the standard. So and you go back, as far as you want to go, you go back to Kemet, Egypt, or to East Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Now, like we dictate popular culture. And even when others do it, they try to duplicate what we're doing. So when we embrace stripper culture, we embrace street culture. And yeah, we the shit.
All right.
Yeah. So that's my final thought, man. We the shit. Black people are dope, man. Brown people are dope.
All right. I ain't gonna argue with that. I appreciate that, man. And Tiffany, shut us down, please.
All right. As far as embracing stripper culture, yes, we do. We embrace the glamorized version. The people that you see really rocking with stripper culture now, they don't know anything about Hughes Players Club. They're seeing Cardi B's come up and how she used it as a launch pad to her career. They're seeing the Amber Roses and I think some of the City Girls may have. Well, no, I don't think the City Girls did, but they're seeing this stylized version. They're not seeing some of the grimier aspects and what it takes them down to. So do we embrace it? Yes. I think we often embrace it to our detriment because we only show half the story without the heartbreak that typically tends to go with stuff like that. Absolutely love being a part of this conversation and seeing so many people not throwing stones, but just saying, hey, here's my experience with it. Here's what I haven't experienced. Where's the disconnect? So this is always awesome. But as far as embracing stripper culture go, take the pole dancing classes. I took it because I wanted to develop my upper body strength and my flexibility, which you will absolutely do. Full stop. But if you're trying to dress in that manner because you see it all over your social media feeds, remember it's social media. It's marketing, it's advertising. It's meant to worm its way into your brain to trick you into to consumerist levels that you probably wouldn't go to otherwise.
Okay. I appreciate that. And thank you for joining the show. And I appreciate all of you for taking time. Hang on backstage for me while I shut things down. But that's going to be a wrap, people. So I'll see you next week. My thanks to all of you in the chat room who participated. You did a great job. And of course, my show legends and my guests always do a great job. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the show. Search for me on social media at Talk to Q or by using hashtag T2Q. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Peace out. See you next week. All right.